Hi, my name is Rahul. I'm from Nathaniel School of Music. Today in this lesson we'll talk about interval maps and how they can be used on the guitar for constructing chords using the chord formulas. So unlike keyboards, the guitar has an advantage of something called position playing, where if you have a map of something like a chord position or a chord shape in one position in one set of frets, you can actually transpose that down into other keys like that. So if I have an A major chord, if I have a G major chord and I can transpose it just down two frets to get an A major chord, again two frets to get a B major chord. So like that. So this is an added advantage of the guitar, and interval maps on the guitar uses this advantage to identify chord positions and chord structures. So all you need to know in this are how the intervals are mapped out on the guitar, like in subsequent strings, sorry, and the chord formula which you are trying to find the chord for. So to get a basic idea of how the interval is mapped out on the guitar, we'll take a root on the sixth string first. Let's take the key of A major. So if this is the A note, my major second interval comes two frets apart, so this is the major second, and the major third interval comes two frets from the major second interval, so which is major third in this. But I can go to the next string also, so I get a first here, a major second here, and a major third here, and the perfect fourth comes next to the major third, and the perfect fifth here, sixth here, major sixth, and the major seventh on this, and the next octave of the same root on the fourth string. So what I'm actually having is if I run through a major scale from this note, I actually get the intervals in order. So it's 1, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, and the next octave. This can extend downward also. So if I play from here, so this is my root A. This is the 1. So I get the next. I can identify this as my third, my perfect fifth, my perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major third, major second, and the major sixth, major seventh, and the next octave. So these are the octaves that I'm playing on, and the interval map is as shown in the diagram. It's mapped out on the fretboard like what is shown in the picture. So in order to construct a chord, like let's take for example a simple chord like A major. The chord formula for an A major chord is the first root note, the major third interval, and the perfect fifth interval. So if I'm trying to construct that chord using intervals, using this interval map from the root position on the sixth string, I have A here, which is the first, and the usual position of A major is played like this. So the intervals are laid out like the first is this, and this is the perfect fifth, and this is the next octave of the root, and this is the major third. So I have the first, perfect fifth, octave of the root, and major third. So I can actually make this chord on the fly using my interval map, then my knowledge of the interval map. But know that the position that you usually use for a major chord is actually made of those intervals, and that is how the intervals are laid out. So if I move away from the simple major chord, if I try to make an add ninth chord is nothing but I add the major second in the next octave. So I have the intervals, the first, major third, perfect fifth, and the major second in the next octave. That becomes the ninth. So in order to find that chord, if I imagine I know nothing about that chord and I'm trying to find that chord from the start, so I'll take the root on the sixth, but the same root on the sixth applies on the fourth string also. It's the next octave. So I'll use this for the convenience sakes. So this is my root, and if I look for the major third, this is my major third and my perfect fifth. And now I just need to know my major second in the next octave. So my next octave starts from this fret, and my major second is here. So my add ninth chord will sound like. So when played like this is my add ninth chord. I just made it out from the interval map structure that I have. So similarly, if we are trying to find another chord, let's take suspended fourth chord for example. Suspended fourth chords have the root, and instead of the major third, it uses the fourth and the perfect fifth. So the formula of a suspended chord is 1, 4 and 5. So I start with 1 here, and according to the interval map, my fourth lies on this string, on this fret. My fifth is here, and the next octave of my root here. So this is my suspended fourth chord. This is my major chord. I just moved the suspended fourth to the third, so I get a major chord. So it's 1, 3, 5 and again the next octave. So instead of the third, if I play the fourth, I get the suspended fourth chord. So these are two examples of constructing chords from the interval maps on the fly. Let's take one more chord. It's called the minor 7th flat 5 or the half-diminished chord. So the chord formula for minor 7th flat 5 is you have 1, you have the flat third, which is a minor third, and you have a flat 5, it's a diminished fifth. So 1, flat 3, flat 5 and a flat 7. That is the chord formula for the minor 7 flat 5 chord. So if I'm trying to construct the minor 7 flat 5 chord with the same concept using the interval maps on the my root on the 6th string. So if I take this as my root, which is the A note, my root, I have to find the flat 5. So for ease of positioning, I'll find flat 5 first because this is my 5th. This becomes my flat 5. So 1, flat 5, and this is my 7. This is my major 7. So if I have to flat the major, get a minor 7th, I have to flat the major 7th, giving me this note. So 1, flat 5, flat 7, and I know this is my major third, this note. On the 3rd string, the 6th fret has my major third of the A note. So if I am trying to do a flat third, I'll just move my major third one fret ahead. So I'll get this 1, flat 5, flat 7 and flat third. This is my half diminished chord. So like that, if you know the chord formula of any chord that you want to do, any suspended, any half diminished or fully diminished, any chord, all you need to know is the interval map of one root note on the guitar. And you need to know the chord formula of what chord you're looking for. Most of the chords are named according to the chord formula. Like minor chord has a flat third, or a suspended chord has a third moving to the 5th. It gets suspended a bit. So that's the whole idea of chord formula. So you need to know the chord formula as well as you need to know the interval map on the guitar. Similarly, like how we take the root on the 6th string, we can also get the root on the 5th string. So that interval map, as shown in the figure, it is almost the same layout as what the root is on the 6th string. It just shifts the position a bit, and there is a difference between the 3rd and 2nd string also. So other than that, it's almost the same, and it's easy to understand the interval map from any string. So if I get so understanding the interval map using it to construct chords is a very easy way, one, to learn chords and also to understand how the chord formulas are and use it. If you have no idea what a chord is, you just have a chord formula in your hand, then you can easily construct chords using this interval map without thinking about notes and such. I don't need to know what notes I'm playing, I just need to know the interval I'm playing, because intervals doesn't change along the length of the fretboard, only the notes keep changing. So if you don't have to worry about the notes, you don't have to worry about construction of chords. Hope you found this useful. Stay tuned for more and please subscribe.